Hello and welcome back, and today I want to talk about an external hard drive. I know this isn't a subject I've talked about on the channel for quite a length of time, given that I do talk a lot about network attached storage, about Thunderbolt, about all these kind of storage devices, but all too often we forget about one of the simplest and one of the most common forms of storage that's still, even now, at the end of 2020 when I'm recording, is still very, busy and current. I'm talking about external storage. Now, a number of you may have noticed recently that I've been talking about PS5 storage and gamer storage and definitely multi-tiered backup storage, certainly. And with that, I've been investigating a number of different external storage devices that I think are quite desirable. Now, there are brands that have been around for a long time and ones that haven't, and we know a lot about storage providers. We know a lot about external storage devices, and a number of us will just take for granted that an external drive is just that, an external drive. But there are different areas of external drives, and USB storage is one of those areas where it's just not that simple anymore to just get an external drive. It is about the drive that's inside, it's about the connection and the interface of the drive, and ultimately it's about the structure of that drive, and particularly for content creators, those that work in post-production and those that are on the shoot. We have talked a number of times about storage that can, take the hit, both in terms of the physical damage that it can take along the way and withstand the day-to-day occurrences of where our hardware can, get attacked in one form or another, be it from a spilt coffee cup to falling off the edge of a desk. Now, for this, one brand that I do talk about very, very rarely on the channel, and only because their range of solutions isn't huge but very, very precisely led, it has to be said, is G-Tech. And I say G-Tech in their full title, G Technology, and this is their external rugged drive, the Armor ATD. Now, this is kind of their premium drive for withstanding those very hassles that I described. Now, in today's video, I am going to unbox it and we're going to get a closer look at this drive. And I've got some follow-up videos where we're going to be doing performance benchmarks as well as utilizing it in conjunction with a NAS to show that tiered backup strategy. Because if you are going to utilize a USB drive in your NAS storage environment, it's very important that that USB drive is protected, because you are talking about a NAS device that has multi-tiers, maybe backing up to the cloud. But at the same time, you want to make sure that the USB drive itself is protected, because this is going to be your legacy storage. This is going to be your cold, take with you, stick in your pocket storage, or a USB drive that's going to be connected to the system long term. You need to know it's protected inside and outside. So this is the Armor ATD. It arrives in 1 TB, 2 TB, 4 TB, and even a 5 TB model. It starts at about 59 quid, something like that. I know it's sometimes on offer, and it goes up to about 120, 130 quid for that 5 TB model. This is the 2 TB we're looking at today, and this one is populated with a traditional hard drive inside there, and that hard drive will give, they promote around 140 megabytes per second, and again, in testing we will see, but I can see that it would give that. It's a USB 3.2 Gen 1 port, which for those that aren't keeping on top of the ridiculous standard of USB naming convention right now, that means 5 gigabits per second there, but it does arrive with a USB-C port and adapters inside. I will also highlight right there that when it comes to USB-C devices, G-Tech have really hit this hard. A lot of their devices across the gamut there have got USB-C and those adapters included. Not just Thunderbolt, not just USB 3.2 Gen 2, but the USB 3.2 Gen 1 lot like these are supported, and that's particularly useful for those in Mac environments. This is Windows and Mac supported, but a number of more modern Mac devices ditching a lot of the other peripheral connections there and relying solely on USB-C connections. This is supported by both the Thunderbolt port and traditional USB ports. Just bear in mind that you're not going to get higher than 5 gigabits per second, and moreover, this is a single drive environment, so you were never going to hit those tops anyway. Also arrives with 3 years of manufacturer's warranty. So let's have a look inside. Have a look inside our box. I have already opened it to make sure it was inside there. There's nothing more inside that box. Standard packaging there. This is very much a product you're going to see on the shelf. It does detail a lot about the 3-year warranty. and its compatibility there, and a lot of it to do with that protection inside that we're going to talk about in a bit more detail later on. If we have a look inside the box, we've got that plastic cover. We've got the rubber coated drive itself, and we will talk about that in a wee bit. We have cables inside. Let's get those open and have a look. And inside there we have a USB-C to USB-C cable there, and of course that adapter to convert a USB-C port into a USB-A. So there's the USB-C inside, and you go connect it to an A. It's that straightforward, and of course it clips on nice and easy. There's even a kind of groove grip there built into the top, but again, there is our cable. You've also got information there about your warranty, information there about the backup software as well, because there is software on board, along with some of their drives arriving with formatting tools as well, which is always handy, and first time setup guide right there. So let's have a look at this drive. Okay, so we've got that rubberized cover all the way around it. Now that cover can be removed. It's got grooves there for gripping there. You don't have to worry about ventilation. This is a bus powered drive, so it will be powered by USB, regardless if you go all the way up to the 5TB model. The connection is covered there. As we can see, there is a little cover that we can pop off there. As you can see, if you remove it, there is our USB-C connection. Now, it's worth highlighting the reason for that cover. It is protected from a number of things. It protects from shock damage, drop damage there. It's got water resistance as well, so not full submergence. This isn't an IP66 drive, and it can withstand up to £1,000 of crush damage. Now, I've beat that there, so again, we're going to see if that made its impact with regards to our performance testing later, but I'm fairly confident. We've already done preliminary testing on this drive. Absolutely fine. It hit the benchmarks, and the rubberized cover does come off, so if you don't want to utilize that, and there you've got that nice shiny blue covered G Technology drive there. And again, we've got the reset pin if you need to reset the device, but I wouldn't recommend it. And it does work in conjunction with a number of encryption programs with Mac and Windows environments. Now, should you be looking at traditional, mechanical hard drives in 2020 and 2021, given the relative affordability of SSDs? I mean, again, in a follow-up video, we will be looking at a drive that I've been waiting to get my hands on for quite a while. This is their Mobile Pro SSD, and this is a drive that costs significantly more. This is at 1 TB. This knocks around for about 500 quid. So again, a price difference there of quite significantly 3 to 5 times the amount based on capacity still shows us, not just with G Technology but across the industry, that although SSDs have become a lot more affordable, they are still nowhere near the price point and the capacity and the price per gig indeed of traditional hard drives. And if you're using this in a way where rigidity and long-term data security is important, traditional hard drives still very much have a place in the market, because if you do write data to an SSD repeatedly, NAND does wear down, and that's not something you get with hard drives. Yes, it comes with a 3-year manufacturer's warranty, and most SSDs come with 5 years, but you have to bear in mind a lot of those warranties that come with SSDs are based on hours of that they're powered on, and a lot of the time the warranties from a majority of companies do not highlight that, so you should really look into that. But if you are looking at an external drive that is going to be designed based on storage capacity, not general speed, so you're not going to be editing 1080, 4K or even 8K on these drives, then this is a very good drive to go for. Not only because of the design, I've got to say that the design itself doesn't really do it for me personally. I think it's a bit too shiny there. And obviously there's going to be enormous comparison between this drive to be made versus, say, the Lacy Rugged, which is their kind of industry choice drive for post-production. I'll pop that back in there later. But one thing I will say with the Lacy Rugged drives is you do pay a premium for kind of standard protection and design around them, and that's something where you have a lot more fluidity in these drives from G-Tech there with the kind of SSDs, and when you move into the Thunderbolt bracket, and particularly when you want to edit over 4K and 8K, and you'll see that in my next unboxing, there's a wider range of drive storage available, and definitely protection rolled into them. So That's about it for the unboxing here of this G-Tech drive. We're going to get this in for the hardware review with full performance benchmarks with AJA and Blackmagic in my next video. Do check that out. But otherwise, if you are interested in one of these bad boys, there are links in the description. I will be comparing it against that Lacy Rugged as mentioned, and we will be featuring this drive in the next month or so in conjunction with our Thunderbolt device just down there off screen, the TVS H1288X, in our multi-tiered backup strategy, and showing you exactly where a USB drive like this lives in your backup strategy. Thank you so much for watching. Click like if you enjoyed the video, click subscribe to learn more, and I'll see you next time.